Hello there guys! For today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a glowing effect in any object in Photoshop. And also we will dive deeper into duplicating of layers, grouping of layers, applying hue and saturation, applying exposure, changing blend modes, applying Gaussian blur, and using brush tool for the glow up. So let's get started. So here in our document, I got here an image of these apple, and our goal here is to make this apple glow. All right, so the first step we're going to do here is we're going to create a selection onto the apple with the use of the quick selection tool. So with the background layer selected, I'm going to the toolbar and find the quick selection tool. So actually it's in the fourth tool, first, second, third, fourth. Right click on it and then go to the second quick selection tool. And now once I click it, make sure it is on the plus sign. Now I'm going to click and drag to create a selection onto the apple, okay? And also to its stem. There you go. All right, so there are some necessary selections here. So I'm going to remove that. To do that, just hold Alt. It will turn into a subtract selection. Now we can start deselecting on those areas. And there you go. The next step we're going to do here is we're going to press Control plus J. Once I did that, you can see that the apple created its own layer and it's already separated. Now I'm going to create two more duplicate layers of this apple layer. I'm going to press Control plus J and another one. All right. So I just created three of them. So this time I'm going to put these three layers into a group. So I'm going to select all these three layers. So I can just do it by holding Control, click on the other layer that wasn't selected, and also to the other. And now they're all selected. I'm going here at the bottom and click on this folder icon. So once I did that, so they're all here inside this group. And by the way, if you find this video helpful so far, please consider subscribing to help YouTube algorithm show my videos to other nerds like us. The next step we're going to do here is we're going to change the blend mode of each and apply a Gaussian blur. From the first on top here, okay, I'm going to change the blend mode. Yeah, click on this one and then put it to screen. All right. And then I'm going on the menu bar, go to filter, then choose blur, and then under blur, find Gaussian blur. So this one will be the highest radius. So I'm going to set this one to 300 pixels to scatter those color. And then select OK. All right, and to the next apple here. Yes, this one, the second one. I'm going to do the same thing. Change the blend mode, turn it to screen, and then go to the menu bar, select on filter, go to blur, find Gaussian blur. This time I'm gonna set the radius to 150. Okay, and there you have it. And for the last one, select on that, same thing, change it to screen, go to the menu bar, select on filter, go to blur, and find Gaussian blur. And for the radius of this, we'll just set this one to only 5 pixels. Okay, and then select OK. So once I did that, as you have noticed, it already create a glow effect on it. So to make it more vibrant, let's darker the background. So I'm going to hide this group layer for now. And then I'm going to the adjustment layer at the bottom here, click on it, and then find exposure. So once I click that, I'm going to click and drag it under the group layer and release. And there you have it. And then for the exposure, I'm going to move the slider to the left to darken the background. Right? And also for the gamma correction, I'm going to move the slider to the right to make it more darker. And there you go. Okay, so I set the exposure to minus 2.29 and for the gamma correction 0.79. And the next step we're going to do here is we're going to add a hue and saturation. So I'm going to click on the group layer that we just created a while ago. So go to the adjustment layer icon, click on it, and then find hue and saturation. Okay, and here with this hue and saturation selected, I'm going to right click on it and find create clipping mask. Okay, so once I click that, hue and saturation layer will only apply only to the apples or to the group here. Okay. Now for the properties, I'm going to tick on the colorize. Yes. And then for the saturation, I'm gonna increase that to around 90%. Yes, to 90. Now for the hue, you can choose any color you want. For example, you want to turn yellow, so you can put that. You can just drag the slider to yellow. All right. So if I drag it to purple, it can turn to purple. So that's how it is. So it's up to you what color you want for your glow effect. But for this apple, I think I'm just gonna bring that to color yellow to create a golden apple effect like that. Okay. And then after that, the next step we're gonna do here is we're going to lighten the surroundings of the apple to look realistic. Okay. So to do that, I'm just going to click on the mask of the exposure layer. Yeah, this one. Click on this, the white thing here. And then going to the toolbar, select on the brush tool or B for the shortcut key. And for the options, for the opacity, I'm going to set that to 15%, for the flow to 40%. And then for the brush, find the soft round pressure size, or you can also use soft round brush here. Okay. And then for the foreground color, I'm going to set this one to color black. I'm going to click this one to switch the white to black. And there you go. Now, I'll start gluing the surround. I'll start brightening the surroundings of this apple. Of course, from this part, from the areas that the apple are glowing on. So I'm gonna keep on painting on these areas to make the face brighter and also to the hand. All right, something just like this. All right, and then the next thing here is we're going to create a duplicate layer of the hue and saturation. So going onto the layers panel, click on the hue and saturation that we just created a while ago. Create a duplicate layer of that by just pressing Control plus J. All right, so once I did that, you can see it turned into yellow, right? Now from this layer here, I'm going to drag the hue and saturation that we just created at the bottom of the group layer or on top of the exposure layer and release. And there you have it. And then with the thumbnail of the mask selected, yes, click on this, we're going to make it into a negative mask. To do that, all you have to do is to select on that thing, that white, or the thumbnail, and then press Control plus I. So once I did that, you can see the effect is gone, and then it turns into a negative mask. So let's make the apple more vibrant with its color. So to do that, with that negative mask selected, I'm going to the toolbar and choose on the brush tool. For the foreground color, let's switch this one to white. And then I'm going to start painting to create that yellow glowing effect around the apple. Now I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to show you the before and after. So this one is the before, and this one is the after. And that is how to make a glowing effect in any object in Photoshop.